everyone, welcome to It's Healthy Mention channel. So today we are going to see Organon Philosophy topic, that is Kent's Philosophy lecture number 14, that is Susceptibility. So let's begin. This chapter is made in pointers so that you may understand this topic very easily and this topic may become very easy for exam purpose also. So let's begin. Now, what Ken says about the susceptibility? First, he mentioned the medicinal power and natural stimuli. What are these? Human body is more affected in health by medicine, partially because we have the regulation of the dose in our own power, whereas natural morbid stimuli, that is natural diseases, are cured and overcome by suitable medicines. In aphorism number 31, there are morbid causes and susceptibility. Inimical forces, including partially psychical and partially physical, termed morbific noxious agent, don't affect everyone. We are made ill only when the organism is sufficiently disposed and susceptible. That is, सबको ये बीमारी होती है नहीं. Only to the one who is sufficiently disposed and susceptible are getting the diseases. Disease alters health, deranges functions, causes abnormal sensations, but only in susceptible individuals. Now, in aphorism number 32, artificial morbific agents. These are real medicines act at all times, under all circumstances, and on every living human being. Unlike natural diseases, medicines always produce effects when administered in sufficient dose. Now, role of potentization, dose and susceptibility. Kent says degree or intensity is equal to potentization. Physician must understand repetition of dose and susceptibility. Disease causes are attenuated, that is immaterial. Remedy must be on the same plane. One dose is enough if rationale of susceptibility is satisfied. Contagion versus cure. Cure, one dose causes suspension of influx. So Kent says that susceptibility is an influx. Cause ceases to flow when resistance develops. When susceptibility is satisfied, the cause ceases, ultimate ceases. Now, Hahnemann's view. Man has more power over drugs than disease cause. Disease causes immaterial flow into man, affecting him. When man ceases to be susceptible, influx stops, cure occurs. Now, contagion versus cure. Cure uses change of potency to suit varying susceptibility. Disease cause effects according to susceptibility and attenuation. Medicine can be adjusted. Disease cause fits susceptibility present at that moment. Quote by Hahnemann. Medicines, as controlled by will, have greater power to affect health than natural diseases, because medicines are always in potentized form and more powerful than the natural diseases. Natural diseases are cured by appropriate medicines. Now, when medicine ceases to be homeopathic, if symptoms change, the same medicine is no longer indicated. Giving it after change is dangerous, as it works on a different plane. Giving more than required, that is supplying surplus susceptibility, which is also dangerous. In chronic disease, give or administer sulfur when clearly indicated. Symptoms disappear, patient improves. Remedy then ceases to be homeopathic. If it is administered for a longer, whatever the action it has, it's neither homeopathic nor desirable. Now, repetition of dose. Often advised by many, but without change, it's useless. In vigorous patients, repetition works. In delicate subjects, it can harm. Delicate means some people are oversensitive or hypersensitive. Slow reactors may be blocked by repetition. Susceptibility can be damaged by repetition. Control of man over economy, that is his body, that is his own health. Man has more control over his economy than over disease. Economy is affected only when susceptible. Even in proving or curing, wrong dosing can harm susceptible individuals. Limited power of disease causes are limited in power to change health due to susceptibility. Once natural disease runs its course, susceptibility changes. Cure. A new state of susceptibility, thus, a new dose is needed only after a cycle or time passes. Now, what are these susceptibility cycles? Man doesn't stay in the same state forever. He goes from one susceptibility to another. Thus, dose must match the current state. Only give dose when new state of susceptibility arises. What happens to the immunity after the cure? When susceptibility is satisfied in acute diseases, man becomes immune. But if remedy is not homeopathic, no immunity is produced. Patient can be damaged if medicine is given with wrong potency. Medicines acts more powerfully. Medicine agents have an unconditional and absolute power. Disease agents acts only conditional and subordinately. Drug abuse and economy. Economy is disordered by drug taking. Drugs remain in body, disturbing health for years. Chronic users, sulfur, blue mass, quinine, take years to recover. Now, key proposition of this chapter is to cure, medicine must produce artificial disease in the body, similar to the natural disease. Artificial disease must be greater degree of intensity. Intensity must be higher, internal and prior. Exist in primitive substance, not material form. Cause is not in bacteria, but in the primitive immaterial cause. Bacteria may contain cause, but are not the real cause. So here we have completed this topic. Rereading this topic and re-understanding this topic, you may understand what Kent has said in this chapter of susceptibility. Thank you for watching.